Hello and welcome to another episode of Bangers and Mosh, the podcast that's twinned with Riff City. I'm Jimmy,
I'm Deffer.
and today we're stoked to be joined by Ryan and Charlie from Doomsday. How's it going, lads? Cheers for hanging with us for a bit today, man.
How's it going? Thanks for having us.
Yeah, now we're
Yeah,
all good,
thanks for
man.
having us.
Oh, dude, honestly, um, the set we so we got the album promo a little while ago. Honestly, from the second we heard this album, we were like, "Fuck, man, we gotta get these boys on the show," because like, um, I'll get the album fanboy in out the way early. I think this might be amongst the best thrash albums of the last decade. Like,
Oh,
honestly, dudes, this is fucking up there with like Nightmare Logic and stuff for me. It's an absolute 10 out of 10 world beat of this record, man.
Dude, fuck yeah, thank you.
yeah, thank you so much. That means a lot.
Nah, all good, man. So, the record's been out for just over a week now. How's like the reception been from your guys' side?
Dude, it's been crazy. It's been we like from the get, this whole band was like made with like no expectations. We just want to rock with our guys and to get to this point like where people are like really, really messing with it is like kind of like it's blowing my brain a little bit.
Is it? I suppose yeah, because you like for a relatively new band with like two EPs out to have like hit the ground running with a debut like this and to see like the love online for it, it must be like quite surreal.
Yeah, it's pretty unreal to me, at least. Like I was in Philadelphia for the past week, and I've never had people like ask me about the record outside of California.
Oh
So
shit,
for it
hell
for
yeah.
for it for yeah for it to reach out there, um, and just like unprompted, just like, oh, the record is amazing. Like I like what you're doing with it. It's just unreal. I mean, to piggyback on what Charlie said, I mean, we had no expectations of this, so it's just very humbling and just unreal.
Sick, man. I mean, we're sat just outside London, and like we're like, oh my god, this fucking record. So like, you're like a global phenomenon now, man.
No.
um, so I wanted to get into like the songs a bit on here. So Ryan, you're like head honcho, chief songwriter. But what I wanted to like ask you about is so something me and like we were just chatting off air, me and Defa, right? Your songs do everything that someone listening to them wants them to do next. Like you there'll be a bit and you'll be like, oh man, wouldn't it be sick if there's like a dive bomb and then a solo? And then 2 seconds later, and it's like, fuck man. And then you'll be like, shit, right, hopefully this bit's building up to a sick breakdown. And then 5 seconds later, what do you know? There's a sick breakdown. Like it's like, do you put a lot of thought into structuring your songs and how as to how you would want them to hear if you were listening to the record?
Oh man, first of all, that's a really good question. Um, yeah, so like when these songs start out, I envision primarily just a structure. It's all instrumental first. All the drums, all the bass, all the guitars have been written. There's no extra sauce like the dive bombs yet
Yeah,
or any additional licks. It's up until Charlie records his vocals, his demo vocals over it is when I start filling out everything. And I like to build this tension within the song. So like, it's like the anticipation. So it's the build
yeah,
up. Like, I think exactly what you just said. It's like what it would be cool if this happened here. And that would be like I guess in my head, a sonical resolve in that point. So
yes,
I like to
man.
just kind of build that tension, let the riff breathe a little bit, and then hit it with what you want right at the end.
Oh, dude, you do that, man. Like, I was like, fuck, where he must have studied, like, must have PhD in like songwriting or something. Do you know what I mean? Because they're just so like satisfying as a listener. Do you write with like live shows in mind as well? So like,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like I envision the crowd. There's a couple of records that I listen to, like oh, fuck, what's that Razor record? I'm blanking out. Violent Restitution.
mm,
That's one of the records that I can envision the pit or Violence's Eternal Nightmare. Like
Yes,
just
yeah,
listening to those records, there's few records that I can recall aside from those two that I can envision like a circle pit or like, you know, stage diving. So when I also in addition with tension, I think if I were a showgoer, if I were in the crowd, what would I do? Or what would I want to do? So like I would want a two step at this point.
yeah,
So I
yeah,
would
yeah,
throw in the two step beat.
yeah.
Or I would want to like, you know, mosh like hard. So I would throw like a ass beater, like right here. Um but yeah, I definitely envisioned the crowd too. Like what would the crowd do and how would I have the most amount of fun listening to the song while being at a show?
Oh man, honestly, like it's such a like I said, as a listener, it's such a brilliant, satisfying listen when the stuff that you want to happen just happens, man. Honestly, it's
It's
so,
like listening to an old friend.
yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean? It's
chatting
like
with an
that. You
old
know what
friend.
I
Yeah,
mean? It's that real comfort feeling. You know what I mean? When you
yeah,
hear all this.
yeah.
Ah,
Charlie, when you're doing do you have lyrics written first, or do you like to get the blank canvas, and then put your sort of flow and stuff over the top of it?
Yeah, like when I'm first listening to like the riff that Ryan sends, like I'm already getting like an idea of how the vocals should go.
Yeah,
Like I kind of like want to like I just want to write something that like kind of like rides with his parts and not just like sitting on top of it, just kind of like just floating along. I really want the vocal patterns to be like interesting
yeah.
and um just coming up with like lyrics and stuff for it. Like I already have like ideas in mind. Like I'm always writing like, you know, just like stuff in like my notes, like just like, oh, this line's kind of hard. Like, oh, like this is dope. Maybe I can like bring this back somehow. And or if I'm playing like Dark Souls or Elden Ring like for the 50th time again, or like reading like some fantasy like novel, or like just watching like Training Day, like just like whatever is in the mode, and, like whatever in my headspace is, and like that's like the topic in mind that I
Yeah,
have when coming up with the song. But like Ryan, think I said this like a couple times before, but Ryan makes my job so much easier because he just can write like a really good song, and
yeah,
it just makes my life so much easier. Like I think like the first time we ever met, uh I asked him like, yo, like what do you think about like this lyric? Can you write a riff on top of it? And like I feel like that's the most obnoxious and backwards way to write music. I was like, yeah, I believe self is a lie. Like, and I'm and then he's just like he doesn't even have his guitar plugged in. He just has it like strapped, like just already trying to come up with something like to someone he doesn't even know. Like what the fuck is this guy on? Like, so like just doing the opposite of that, like has made my life so much easier. And like, you know, it's crazy to think how much better he's gotten as a songwriter, like from like the first like demo we ever did to now.
yeah.
It's like it's kind of crazy. Like his like advancement has gone like through the roof. He's wild.
Dude, honestly, that is so like that is so noticeable on the record, man. Like, Dev, we were saying this, we were like, oh man, there's like song structures in here that fucking 1988 Metallica would have been writing and
yeah,
stuff. We were
yeah,
like,
yeah.
honestly, just fucking mind blown, man. Like, um, Charlie, just again, I just wanted to ask you, like, who your influences are or were as you were getting into bands, because as well as like more modern stuff, I can really hear touches of like Bobby Blitz and like Zetro and stuff. In there's like times where your vocals do that like 80s like high pitched thing just briefly, but man, it's so fucking sick.
And dude, like I like Obituary a lot. I kind of try and do a little bit of that. I can't help but not try and like imitate like Jason Tarpey from Iron Age a little bit, or a little bit of fucking Hetfield,
Yeah,
of
yeah,
like just a little bit. Like I like ultimately to me like I want to like do like more like hardcore leaning like vocals, but like I I can't not like get those influences out. You know, like
Yeah.
there's like a couple songs too, like where I'm like I'm just straight up like stealing shit from like Tom Araya. Like I'm just stealing shit from Slayer. Like there's like a I forget which song like it was, but like this it's just that one part in Live Undead, like where I'm just like, yeah, it's literally that part, but like just make it Doomsday a little bit. So
Yeah, those 80s influences are so they just sound so cool and so fresh
Mhm.
over the top of those songs, man. Ryan, who your sort of guitar influences and like favorite players and sort of guitar heroes you looked up to growing up? Because there's a few I can hear certain influences. If, like, there's one solo in there. I wish I'd have written the song down, and I was like, "Fuck, man, it sounds like Rocky George playing over the top of this song."
Um, I channel a lot of so I always channel Slash from Guns N' Roses. That's just me.
Yeah,
That's who got me into actually like trying to learn how to solo after hearing Sweet Child of Mine. I'm like, I kind of want to do that. So it all stemmed from there. So I always channel him. Um, I also channel a little bit of Noel Gallagher from Oasis.
Oh wow!
Uh,
Oh wow!
in terms of not shredding because he doesn't
Yep.
really shred throughout like the record, but in terms of like songwriting, because
Yeah.
I really like Oasis is my favorite band in the world.
Oh, we
So
love
aside
Oasis.
from
Yeah.
aside from Iron Age, but uh, aside from Iron Age, but it's just the songwriting is incredible, and
Yeah.
it's something to kind of take note of. And like, when writing metal stuff, sometimes like it's really easy to lean on like, oh, I want this to sound like Slayer, so I want to sound like Slayer. But with this record, I try to go a little bit out of the box and try to look at like other influences that will influence me. It's like, what if I took this structure and not this riff, like the
Mm,
concept of the structure,
yeah.
and how would it sound like in this, like this pop structure or this like rock and roll structure. um so yeah, Noel Gallagher from Oasis is the other one. um who else? Brian Setzer from Stray Cats. I really love chords. So he plays all these weird funky chords that like I really like to hear and try to implement in the playing as much as I can. Uh, who else? There's a lot. I mean, Dimebag, of course.
Yeah.
Kerry King, Jeff Hanneman, Gary Holt, Kirk Hammett.
Yeah. It's so
Yeah.
interesting to hear, man, because like with like Slash especially and Noel as well, like they sort of knew where to place a solo and how to. I mean, you can probably sing every Oasis guitar solo. Do you know what I mean? Like
Mhm, mhm,
solos that stick with you, and it's the same with like those classic metal bands like Kirk Hammett. Like
mhm,
those solos are essentially like vocal lines because you know them, you can hear them, you
yeah.
can
Mhm.
hum them and sing
Mhm,
along with
mhm,
them.
mhm. Yeah, and it's like, especially with the non-metal influences, it's like, what about this song or what about this structure do I like about this?
Yeah,
And how
Yeah.
do I apply it to what it? Because I mean, every song is me and Charlie or that Doomsday makes is a reflection of who we are and what we like.
mm,
So it's just expected that like stuff that's not metal leaning is gonna leak into
Mhm.
there, or like some sort of like thing, some concept that's in your brain that's gonna leak into there somehow. So
yeah.
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 I'd
Is
imagine
it?
that's the hardest thing. I'm sorry. I'd imagine that's the hardest thing for a guitarist is like making a lead that you can just hum. Like like I imagine anyone can shred, but like I imagine just writing something that like you can like just think back on. Like that's why like when you're saying Slash, like yeah, I can agree that because I feel like I can like hum every single Slash solo
Yep,
like
Mhm.
ever
yep.
made.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, it's the same with those. Like I mentioned, Rocky George from Suicidal. Like all of
mhm.
his
Mhm.
solos are super memorable as well, and I get in that vibe with yours as well, in that they're not just there for the sake of like, oh, listen to me, I'm so good, I can shred, and they're actually really thought out and really placed well in the tunes to elevate them up higher.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's wicked,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, and like Carlos has or Charlie has sort of like
Just call me whatever at this point. I don't, I don't give a
no,
shit.
no,
I think my name is on the screen.
it is on there. I see it right there.
It doesn't matter, bro. Like, it doesn't matter, bro.
But like I've told Charlie this, like he has a very melodic approach to his vocals. There's sort of a range because when I listen to like different hardcore, it's a very, I wouldn't say monotonous, but like a lot of hardcore is just one straight tone, and
Yes,
it's just yelling,
yeah.
and it's just like yelling, and it's fine. Like people yell in one tone sometimes, but the way that Charlie does it, there's that yow kind of like thing, and then he does like a lower ugh.
Yep.
And I remember like telling him like, hey, like you can sound like a maniac if you just kind of like fluctuate through that, and it's in a sense a melodic kind of tone. So it's with what I try to do, it's how do I make more melody to supplement and like something that's already huge and like great.
Yeah,
but
that's sick, man. Charlie, do you take any influence from like hip hop at all?
So I'm originally from Puerto Rico, and like that's where like reggaeton is like the big thing over there. So like growing up listening to like, Wisin y Yandel, Daddy Yankee, Don Omar, like and shit like that. Like I love that shit. Like it doesn't look like it, like, but like I think when I was 12, I had like cornrows. like, 'cause that's what that I came out like that. I thought that was sick, Like, thought that was sick, and just listening to that and like definitely like the flow of that music, like kind of like I feel like seeps in like a little bit and like how I sing too.
Yeah.
I like hip hop a lot too. Like I love Wu Tang, like that's 36 Chambers is like the GOAT album of all time. Like at least like the top 10 for me. So like I try like there's some songs that like in our self-titled EP, there's like this one Inherit the Flesh is a part where it's like kind of like a little rappy. And I think like lately when we're playing it live, I'm like doing like listen. Listen, and then I go in the rap part. I was like to check it. like I want to start saying that. But yeah, I definitely listen to the hip hop
Yeah, I was
and
good because
reggaeton a lot.
it's like I think it's like your that aggressive delivery, the way you spit the lyrics, and they sort of flow
Yeah.
over the top. Yeah, of the tracks. Like it's not like an obvious like. Rob Flynn is my favorite rapper kind of thing, but it's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's you've got that more like that spat out delivery.
Yeah.
So just getting like into studio a bit. So you guys recorded with Zach Owen again for this record. When you go in, do you have like reference material for like guitar tones and snare tones and bass tones and stuff like that?
So we worked with Zach for our past 3 releases.
Yeah.
The first release we just kind of let him have the reins completely. He recorded everything through Rob Flynn's 5150 and like reamp through all that stuff. And the second record was like another 5150, I believe. And then for this one, um, he came up to me at a show at one point and was like, "Hey, I know what you guys are gonna go for. Like I know I have it dialed into my head. So the next record that you want to do, which is Never Known Peace, like I know exactly what it is, and it seemed to me like a hold my beer moment. Like watch this,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
check this out. He had I wanted to go different. I didn't want the 5150 sound anymore. I wanted to go for a Mesa sound, to keep it true to like old Metallica,
Yeah.
like old thrash bands, and like he before I even mentioned it to him, he said I want to do dual rectifier, and I'm like I'm thinking the same thing. So everything was recorded through a Mesa pretty much. And that was the tone I wanted, and it sounds really raw, contrary to the other previous releases, which is what I really like. And you know, going circling back to me envisioning the crowd and envisioning the show, I wanted to capture the essence of the live show into the recording as much as
Yeah.
possible.
Oh,
And
you
I
can hear
think
that.
Zach did a really good job. Um, Also, very very funny thing that happened in the studio. Um, so Never Known Peace, his breakdown was heavily influenced by uh, Machine Head's Davidian, just
Yeah,
because Bay Area.
yeah.
And it's funny because I told Zach, I was like, "Oh, this is heavily influenced by Davidian." Um, Rob Flynn practices in the studio like two doors down,
Oh,
Oh,
sick.
and
wow.
he comes in the Shark Bite every now and then, and he came in and he was mixing the song, and then Zach turns to me and goes, hey Ryan, what's that song you don't want me to show him? Like, what's that song you want me to show? And he's just standing there, and I'm like, I'm like, oh, Zach, you don't have to do that, man. Like, it's all good. Like, I don't want to have to explain that. And then he hits the space bar, and then studio monitors huge, just blaring the breakdown so loud, and Rosalind is just like, yeah, man, that's heavy.
Ah, the nod of approval.
Oh, that's heavy. Oh, yeah, I'm like, yes, validation.
Oh, dude, that's it. Even if the album flopped or whatever, that moment is like, oh, that's enough for me, man.
Yeah, I like nailed it.
The I was saying that earlier about bits of music that. So we talk all the time, don't we, about little moments in music that just get you. There's
Yeah.
that bit in the first track where the guitar's cut out and it's just the bass and the drums.
Yeah.
Man, that's one of my favorite things when bands do that. That bass tone is so fucking gnarly on this record. What was that? You as well, Ryan?
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah.
And as far as like the tone, I don't know. That's all Zach. I'm not sure exactly what he used for that, but I do agree it sounds fucking awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
Agree, man.
It's kind of a shame really the bass gets hidden a lot in metal and hardcore and stuff. Like it's so cool when it just goes there when it just gets them little moments to shine in the record.
Like I was thinking like Sepultura's Propaganda.
Yeah.
That part after the
Yes.
break, like when it
Yeah.
goes dur, dur,
Yeah,
dur. I'm
yeah.
like, that's so tight.
Yeah, that's it, man. And there's loads of cool little production bits in this record as well. Like when you like listen through like proper good headphones, that like Extinction's hymn has got like that synth that sort of sits in there.
Yeah.
There's that like rattlesnake effect in like the Outlaw as well. Like,
Yeah.
Very clever. That
was that you just messing around, experimenting in the studio with those little like bells and whistles and bits?
Oh, that was. I said, oh, this is song's about cowboys. We need the vibraslap. Like it's mandatory to have that. Like, I think I was like, and here's where I didn't even know what it was called. I was just telling Ryan, we got to put the like part. And he's like, oh yeah, vibraslap. It's like, how do you know that off the top of your head what that's called? But sure.
I like it's such a distinct like sound that
Yeah.
like I mean I was in like middle school band like in middle school, and like it was one of the instruments that's like, and I'm like, what the fuck is that? And oh, it's a vibraslap. So it's never left my head. So when he mentioned it, like all these years later, like, can we have that little like sound that rattles? Oh, yeah, vibraslap. Yeah, that's it for sure.
Paid
Like,
off.
I knew exactly what to put in there.
It's so cool, man. Because like, have you guys watched it like a year and a half in the life of Metallica when they're in the studio with Bob Rock doing the Black Album? And they've got like all them like fucking little xylophones and bits and bobs, and I was just like picturing you guys with like messing around with sibs. Oh man, this sounds so sick. This bit, and then
Yeah, like for Extinction's Hymn, the interlude, like we love Candlemass like so much,
yeah,
and I was like, that'd be cool if we had some sort of like dragon slaying, epic sounding like underlying synth that sits beneath this track. Like, it's things where we like take a step back from the skeleton of the song, and it's how do we make this better, or like how do we like supplement everything else? How do we build more tension to this?
yeah,
And like that's when we start consulting the outside stuff, outside instruments, auxiliary instruments. Like, do we want to add auxiliary drums into this? Do we want to add auxiliary synths here? Or I don't know. Like, Never Known Peace has a tambourine, and that's directly a Oasis influence.
Oh wow, shit.
Oh, I'm gonna have to
Yeah.
listen out for that. I haven't heard that on.
I've
on
heard the tambourine. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah,
Fuck.
yeah, like right when the riff hits in the beginning, after that big ass like intro, I guess,
Yeah,
to the
yeah.
song.
Oh
There's
God.
there's a little tambourine that like kind of hits right there, and I'm like, fuck yeah.
Oh
Oh, that's
wow.
so
That's
sick.
great.
That's the thing that sets this record apart from me. Like, I love a lot of the thrash that's come out over the last few years and stuff, but this just has like layers, man, that those records don't have, that just make you want to come back and keep listening and keep listening and keep listening. Like, it's props to you guys for putting that effort in and thinking about the songs and what people want to hear, because it's fucking just paid off so well, man.
Thank you so much.
That's right. That's all right, dude. Like I said to Def earlier, like if the year ended now, this is like the album of the year by far, man, so far. So like it's gonna be I'm gonna be talking about this at the end of the year. I know it. Um so Ryan, like you like obviously you're the main songwriter here, but do you guys all chip in with like how the album should flow, track listing wise and stuff, and like, oh, I think this should be the opening track, I think this should be track 4, etc.
Mm, I kind of just do that. I mean, me and Charlie do like the majority of, I guess, the formatting. I don't know if
Mm,
that's the right word for that, but like as far as the flow goes, Charlie makes great playlists for other stuff in general. So I always trust his idea of what would flow next to each other. When we do set lists, uh, I mean, I send like a structure and he kind of just tweaks it, saying, "Hey, why don't we just open with this song and this song?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, that sounds dope." So with the progression of the record, I always have a an idea of like what should the album start with. Like that's as far as I know for sure. The first song was "Death Is Here," and it was always going to be "Death Is Here,"
yeah.
no matter what the rest of the album was going to sound like. But I know from the start, the track listing was so much more different. It was going to be backwards, I believe. Like
Oh, really?
Remnants of Spite was going to be somewhere in the front. Everyday War was going to be track 2. Um, yeah, it was just crazy, and it's just like, how do we make this flow, and how do we make things link up with each other?
Well,
Yeah,
for
that's
me, with the talking about the album flow, to end the album on Remnants of Spite, that is a ballsy. Right? You know, a lot of bands with an end track will do something different. You know, something different from the album, a one-off sort of track. This stays to its roots. It's the heaviest track. It's for me my favorite track. It's just a ballsy move, man. You know, the 9 tracks have been phenomenal, and then you get Remnants of Spite, and it's just like, oh my god, I want more. It's brilliant.
Yeah, yeah, it's like the reason why I my reasoning for putting that as the last track is the first half of the record is mainly just, you get all the circle pit parts
Yeah.
yeah.
in the first half of the record, like Killing Fields, The Outlaw. It's all just like thrash straight up, and then the second half, I mean, this is unintentional, is just a lot of the hardcore influence stuff,
Yes.
where there's a lot of mid tempo vibes going on, a lot of slower parts, especially like Holy Justice, and like again with the whole tension thing. It's like, Holy Justice is a really slow song. It there's no fast parts, there's no change ups. It's just a head banging song,
Yeah.
and you know, I think we're a thrash man at the end of the day. How do we whip this back up? Oh, let's just hit fast forward on the last track,
Yes.
and to end it with like the hammer blast at the end, and
Yes.
just like there's believe it or not, there's like 8 different guitars playing at the same time.
Holy
It's
shit.
like how to, yeah, it's just like harmonies for the harmonies, and there's octaves on top of every other octave, and it's just ridiculous. And like,
Oh my god.
yeah, to let it kind of just end like that at a dead stop, like
Yes.
no ring out, no nothing, like, all right, later, like,
Oh,
That's it, man. It's like being punched, and then it's like, whoa, shit, what the fuck just happened there? Once you
press play
once you
again.
like
That's what you
gathered your
do.
thoughts.
Press play again.
um, what was the album title inspired by? Is it just like these fucking crazy times we're living in now? Like,
I- For me, like I don't. I was having a hard time coming up with like an album name. Like it was it was rough. Like seeing. I think like the original album title was gonna be just called Death is Here, because I was gonna be like super on the nose, like, oh, Death is here, Doomsday is here. Fucking but I I don't want to like be like too like obvious with it, but then like when Never Known Peace, like when I came up with the Never Known Peace, I'm like, fuck, that's kind of hard, dude.
Yeah,
Like
man.
that's like pretty hard. And I settled on that, and that kind of plays in with like making like the album art, because when we found Spencer Davy, who's also from Oakland too, which is like I was like spending like months trying to find like an artist, and then I was just scrolling on Instagram, and then like I saw like his like one of his pieces like on the grid. I'm like, fuck, that's like exactly what I'm looking for, like exact like color palette, like how the brush strokes, everything. And then he's like from where we are, it's like he's from the Bay, and like fuck yeah. And then I don't give him like any, I give him super vague instructions. I'm like, I want it to look like South of Heaven album cover, like how it looks like very like Bosch like type like style. And here's the album title, Never Known Peace. Just go crazy with it. Like I when it comes to like commissioning for artists, I like trust their vibe.
Yeah.
You know, like you got to let an artist do their thing, because like they'll give you something dope. And then he shows that, and I'm like, dude, it wasn't like exactly what I was looking for, but I'm so glad, because it represents that title so well,
Yeah.
of just like an army of the dead, never knowing rest, just coming back again and again and again and again. Like I'm so happy, like like we went with that album title, because it's like it's it's just hard. It's just dope. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Is that your job, Charlie? Are you the song title man and the and things like
Yeah,
that? Yeah, yeah,
yeah, yeah. Like again, like Ryan makes it like super easy to like come up with like a vibe when it comes to the songs and stuff. So like for like the Outlaw, it just sounded like I'm like a bandit, like I need to like come up, I need to write cowboy shit, which is like which is funny, because like I think like Spirit World had announced
Mm.
like their album when I was already done writing for it. I'm like, fuck, dude, no, like I'm stealing up their whole fucking thing, no.
yeah, man. You're never
Like,
gonna out cowboy fucking Spirit World, are you? It's
like
like,
they fucking dress up and shit, man. Like fucking, like, but like I couldn't not like make this about that. And but like the rest of the songs, like Death is Here, like it needed to be about like like demons feeling unrest and like rising and punishing the earth and shit. And I just want to come up with like cool shit, like I'm more than happy with listening to like thrash about like partying and like drinking beer and shit, that's dope. But like for me, like I want it to be like like a self little contained
yeah,
story within the song,
yeah,
but also making it like have like a little bit of a hook in there,
yeah. Dude, talking about like the hardest thing, like taste my blade, you motherfucker, is nothing is topping that fucking line this year, man.
Yeah,
That is the lyric of 2025's done, man. Gold
Definitely.
dude,
medal,
fuck
it's
yeah.
over.
Oh yeah,
Damn,
hell yeah.
that's tight.
Yeah, that's the serial killer song, dude. Like that's what he says before.
Yeah, like, and then that was the lyric he changed, right? Like, it was something else before that, and then
It was taste my blade. Wait, what was
yeah,
it?
no,
Wait, no, then taste my steel. I think something like that.
or like
Taste
you're
my
like,
knife.
oh no, you said taste my lead, which
Taste my lead. Yeah, I was like, good, like,
yeah,
yeah.
It
Which
don't work.
it don't work,
yeah,
because it said taste my leg. Like so, like I don't, I
well,
don't. So taste my blade. That's pretty hard. That's pretty
Oh, it's
hard.
the hardest,
yeah,
man.
yeah, yeah,
It's the hardest. Something I'm always super interested about asking bands is how do you guys like balance working jobs and having families and shit with like being in a band, playing shows, booking tours and stuff like, because that's the stuff we don't, people listening to records, we don't see all that stuff that goes on. We don't see, it's hard, it's easy to forget that there's real human beings like with you, human being shit to do. Do you know what I mean? So
Right.
how do you sort of balance all that out?
For me, like we've been pretty lucky, like having the scene that we have right now that makes playing shows like really easy for us. Like California's pretty big, and like going from the Bay all the way to LA and stuff like has been, you know, it's hard, but it's like also like forgiving compared to like other bands that like they're in the middle of nowhere and they have to
Yeah,
really travel to like play a lot of shows and get like that time underneath their belt.
yeah,
But I for what we want to do now, like for what we feel like the record has potential for, like we actually had like a conversation a while back on like what do we want to do? Like if we really believe in this record and where it can go, like we're gonna have to like make like a lot of like sacrifices,
mm.
because it's like sorry, my cat is like meowing right now. Like, but it's it potentially have to like quit our jobs or like like rearrange like our whole like lifestyle to
Yeah,
like
yeah,
accommodate for like our like what our dream like we believe in, and we haven't gotten to that point just yet, but like just talking to other bands and stuff and like seeing like where they're at, it's a big sacrifice and a big commitment because you're doing something that might not even have a payoff, like you're just playing shows, breaking even, like you come back, I don't have a job, tour's
yeah.
over, what the fuck am I gonna do? So like I feel like for us, like the biggest thing is to like make this make as much sense as possible so that if it doesn't go our way, we at least have something to fall back onto because like we're ready to give it up all for this, but like like I don't want to come back home to like like to nothing
Yeah,
at the same time.
Mhm.
yeah,
So
yeah.
like
Mhm. Yeah. Like for me at least, I'm grateful that I have a job that lets me do what I need to do. It's very flexible. My supervisor is very understanding of what I do. If I need to work from home, I can do that. Um, and just like to piggyback off what Charlie said about possibly quitting our jobs, like the work's always going to be there, at least
That's it.
for like and like
Mhm.
you can plan all you want. Like you can
Yeah.
plan like a backup as much as you can. And like the last thing I want to do with my life is to look 10 years back and think, man, like that would have been sick if I did that. Like what
Yeah,
if? Like
yeah,
Yeah.
I want to get rid of the what ifs and
yeah.
just do it because you're never ever going to find out unless you do so. Is it going to flop? Maybe. I don't know. Like we're not sure, but we tried and now all we can do now is change the future. Like, what can we do for the future that we can like, make us better? And
Yep.
we get
Mhm.
there when we get there. Um, like as far as like work goes, it's like again, the work's always going to be there, and you're
That's
always
it.
going to
Yeah.
find something. And we're all like Charlie, myself, the rest of the guys in the band. We're all pretty good at like finding something if we really need to. It's always going to be there, and we
Yeah.
just can't forget that when we look at stuff like this.
Oh man, like if it like this album is too good for you to be a band that doesn't get where you want to go. Honestly, like if there's any justice in the world, man, like Doomsday will be fucking playing those shows that Power Trip were playing when they're, do you know what I mean, supporting like the likes of Lamb of God and bands like that. That's where you should be off the back of this record, to me anyway. So like, fingers crossed
100%.
for you boys, man. Honestly,
Thank you.
um,
Thank you.
any plans for like obviously the UK at some point? Or maybe not in the soon, but at some point.
Right now, like we want to like for this year, we're focusing a little bit more on the
Yeah,
US.
yeah, yeah.
Next year for sure, I want to like travel.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah, mostly because I don't even have like my passport. So like that's the excuse I've been telling people. Like, we're just centralizing on the U.S. shows and like the market there. Like and like we're gonna like expand. I can't leave the country. I can't.
I legally can't do it.
I legally can't legally. No, but for sure, like it just ended up working out this way. Like even if I did, like I do want to focus on like the US and like play like
Yeah, absolutely, man.
places that like we haven't played before.
Yeah.
Uh and but for sure I want to play Europe like 100%. I've always wanted to see how the metal and hardcore scene is over there. That's always been like something I've been curious about. Like, so hopefully next year.
Oh, sick, man. Can you print me up one of them Riff City t-shirts just especially because I missed them and now they're sold out and I'm fucking so bummed, man. So yeah.
Oh, we just made more. I got you.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
Are they going up on Bandcamp?
No, we're gonna do. It's for the run that we're gonna do for a week
okay.
and stuff. But just let us know. Let us know what size you got.
Are you talking about
thank
the
you,
one-
buddy.
That's what I
Honestly,
asked.
I was so devastated when I went onto Bandcamp. I was like, sold out. No.
Yeah, yeah,
Are you talking about the one where the dude's on the bike?
yeah,
Like,
man. That's the fucking
that
sickest shirt.
one?
Yeah. It's the best shirt, man.
yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you, guys. So how we like to end these shows is with a quick either or round. We've got some classic thrash albums, some classic hardcore albums. You just got to pick one or the other. So we kick off with Slayer, Show No Mercy, or Exodus, Bonded by Blood.
So no mercy.
Show No Mercy.
Oh yes, my boys. Show No Mercy, so underrated, man.
100%.
Right. Hardcore world now. Terror, One with the Underdogs, or Hatebreed, Perseverance.
God damn it. God damn it. All right.
Yeah,
One with the underdogs for me.
I gotta go with Hatebreed. That's my. I have to.
If you said Satisfaction, then
Yeah, but
I would've-
I know
I
you would
would've
have gone for that.
Yeah, Satisfaction's the go, but I have got Perseverance up there behind me, so it was just the one I saw first, and I was like, I got that signed when I met them at Bloodstock a couple of years ago as well. So like a
Oh fuck
great,
yeah!
a great album.
hell yeah.
Suicidal Tendencies, Lights, Camera, Revolution, or Biohazard, Urban Discipline.
Urban Discipline.
Urban Discipline.
Oh shit, man! I thought it might be. I thought it might be a split part.
Right. Anthrax, Among the Living, or Megadeth, Peace Cells.
I gotta go with Peace Cells.
Yeah,
yeah.
Peace Cells for me. Yes.
Sick. Madball, Set It Off, or Sick of It All, Scratch the Surface.
Set it off.
Set it off.
Oh shit! No, that's
I can't. Dude, Madball's the goat. I can't.
Right. Last one. Ill Blood, No Warning, or Killing Time, Bright Side.
Fuck.
So the best still last, didn't it?
Oh shit, dude! No. Oh, dude, I love Killing Time. I love the Raw Deal demos like so much, but like Ill Blood is like top 3 hardcore albums of all time. Like
sick. Okay.
Short Fuse is like probably one of the hardest songs ever made. Like it's like so I can't not pick that.
Wicked, man. So lads, again, thank you for your time this evening. And honestly, like I said, Never Known Peace is a absolute fucking world beater, and you should be so proud of it, honestly. So yeah, thanks guys for taking some time with us. Make sure you go and pick the album up. I think definitely in the UK it's if you our UK homies, it's on Devil Dog Distro, isn't it?
Devil Dog Distro,
Correct.
yeah. Get your orders
cool.
up.
To pick up. Yeah, we'll drop the link in the episode description and stuff. We'll be back again very soon. But until then, party on, dudes.